What's up, people? So, check it. I got a super exciting slash sad announcement, but I am peacing out of Steamboat. So, you probably caught a little bit of that from my Facebook and little like hint drops along the way in other videos. But yeah, man, it's like a sad thing, but it's a really positive thing, and I just wanted to fill everyone in on what the deal is and where my head's at. So, if you go all the way back to like last April, I think it was, and I was making a video on my camper about quitting my job and how I just felt like there was no future where I was, and I've kind of like recreated a similar circumstance here, and there's some stuff that I'm not exactly proud of, like emotional things that I wanted to work through and felt that I was making the right choice last summer, and yet I wasn't completely successful addressing those things. So, what I found since I got out here is that it all has to add up to that end goal. And right now, like, the only thing I can see and the only thing I can think of is staying on my mission. And I really, really, really want to be able to buy that land that's in my head and find a place that I can call and consider home base, build a structure on it, build a couple greenhouses so that I can have a hobby of growing food and fruits and vegetables and different hobby plants into old age, and maybe turn that into a family-run business or something at one point. But for the most part, what's in my head is just acquiring that land and building a little home base for myself, something to call my own, which is something I've found a lot of value in having the camper. It's definitely different than having an apartment in the sense that it's something I own, and that's very cool. I mentioned that there's some things I'm not exactly proud of or happy about with myself, and I think what I'm not happy about is that when I recognize something wasn't right internally or with my job or whatever, I just didn't put enough emphasis on paying attention to that within me and like making structured decisions to support this or that. You know what I mean? I don't know that there's ever a right or wrong, but just if you have a goal, then it's your job to like make decisions along the way that lead you towards that goal, and hopefully not freak out too much about it along the way. Well, on one hand, I've got this fantasy of living in the mountains. I've wanted to live in the mountains my whole life, and just to have the ski mountain so close this has been so rad this winter. I've never been able to snowboard this much. I finally taught myself how to ride properly, and it's just been so much fun having it in my backyard, and the snow and the mountains, and obviously I found Shiloh out here, and so many positives about coming to Steamboat. I'm truly not upset about it one little bit. Not exactly thrilled to be heading back to the Front Range or back to the Denver area. That being said, there is a considerable amount of additional work and opportunities out there, and so something that hit me over the winter when I wasn't feeling particularly happy with myself, and I was just kind of coping out and doing a lot of stuff to ignore the problem and just bury it. When you're unhappy, at least for me, it's really, really easy to just, I don't know. Part of it's probably being holed up in the winter, freezing my ass off, and it was just really easy to check out, cope out. I didn't do a very good job with my diet and like adhering to the things that I think are important to bring into your body. And then also the things that I do extracurricularly to like take the stress off, take the edge off. It's one thing to enjoy those things in moderation. It's another thing when you're choosing to like abuse a situation and just completely ignore your problems. That's not okay. And it just finally bubbled up in a point in me where I couldn't take it any longer, and I realized change has got to be made, even if that change is compromise that I don't like, which means potentially leaving Steamboat. It was at that juncture when I was feeling so much angst and like feeling like something wasn't right that a new opportunity just boom fell into my lap. I like literally couldn't have asked for it any other way. It's stupid. It was so timely. But I just, I thought about it long and hard, and I put a lot of effort into considering what the right thing for me is. and I went ahead and did it. So this week, I'm basically waiting on the snow to melt, which is hella exciting. Here I've been praying for the mega dump, the snow gods to like rain down on Steamboat, and then now I've got to go back to Denver, and I kind of need the snow to stop. So today is the first beautiful day we've had in a week. It's just been pelting, and we've got like 2 days over 35, 1 day of snow on Wednesday, and then Thursday it's back up to 35 or 40 maybe, and I'm hoping that's the right day for travel. So got a buddy that's going to help me pull the camper with his truck. I could probably do it with my ride, but there is some car issues that I kind of want to address, and so I just think for safety's sake, he's willing. Why not take him up on that? And it'll be nice to have some company back on the trip too. So yeah, man, this week is all about unearthing all the stuff in the camper, just getting rid of the things I don't need, slimming back down to that travel capacity, and just being at peace with the things I'm leaving that I'm not happy about. Fortunately, I've got really good friends that I've made here, so I can come back and use my snowboard pass on the weekends until the season's done, and I've got places to stay. Thanks, Bonita, love you. And yeah, it's a great place to be, and there's been a lot of hardship, and there's been a lot of positive things too. But ultimately, everyone keeps asking like, well, is your mood? Are you being depressed because of this or that or the other thing? Is it too cold? Are you freezing? And I'm like, no, it's none of those things. In fact, I fully support camper life. Like, fuck, the winter is not that bad, even though this has been a mild winter for Steamboat. Truth be told, you can do it. If you want to do it, it's fun. And there's a big difference between making a choice that is your choice and you're doing it because you want to do it, and doing something because you have to. And that's where I get stuck in this like trap where most of my life I have chosen to use alcohol or other things to like cope out of situations that I didn't like. I never realized that you can just simply raise your consciousness and make new choices. And if life's not, where you'd like it to be, that's the beautiful part of being a human, is we can change that. So I'm all about it. And I do my best to stay really aware that I'm not like running from my problems. It's really not resetting in the sense that I'm not trying to run from anything. It's just that when you recognize something's not good for you, or you recognize that a person's not good for you, or whatever, it's the same message I had a year ago, and it's because it's so important to me to live this way, and to be true to myself, that when you recognize those things, you gotta come to peace with it, and you gotta make a decision and move on. And being stagnant and not being able to make a decision is probably one of the greatest challenges of my life. And I think that's what has brought me on this adventure is, you throw yourself to the wolves, and then you kind of have to make decisions in the interest of your own survival. So the older I get, the more I'm learning that I don't need to live on the adrenaline edge all the time, but I kind of like it. At least sometimes. There's a healthy amount of self-preservation and adrenaline that I think we can all benefit from. And there's certainly a place for calming down and just being content within your existence. So, yeah. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Stay with me as we go back to Denver. The best thing about this job is that I'm going to be out on the road traveling. And so my favorite thing about Colorado is that it's such a gorgeous place. What better place to be outside, driving around, making pit stops, getting to see the scenery, and just enjoying one of the most sunny places in the country than right here. So I'm thrilled to be getting out of a retail store and into a lifestyle that I think will be better on the day-to-day. And then hopefully the difference in income is going to be substantial enough that I can really make some improvements to the lifestyle. So whether that is with the vehicle, the rig, or a better situation for Shiloh, I'm not sure, but the next 12 months is going to be really exciting, and we're staying on the path, on the goal. Not that I'm not willing to change these goals as they come along, but right now I still feel the same as I did last year when I was getting the camper, which is I am a man that cannot be contained. I want to be free. I want you guys to be free. I want everyone to embrace free will because we freaking have it. And I don't deserve, no one deserves to be trapped, whether it's in your mind or in a physical place or by a person, and especially not by our own feelings. I feel strongly that we don't have to be, and I am going to take all the steps possible to prove that you can unwind yourself from a really tough existence, and that free will and love will prevail. So thanks so much, guys. Peace. Stay with me as we journey on this week. It's going to be freaking exciting. Later.